October 26, 2015. Guys, there's an object that's incoming to our planet. Some are calling it an asteroid, some are saying it's a spacecraft. It will impact the Earth on November the 11th of this year. They're saying if the calculations are right, it will impact the coast off Sri Lanka. I'll show you the map. It's called WT1190F. Kind of a symbolic term there, what the 1190F, because they don't know. It says it was first discovered by the Mount Lemmon survey at magnitude 19.5 on February 18, 2013. They thought, given the temporary designation of UDA 34A3, but was lost soon after with an observation arc of only 5 hours, moving very fast. However, it was again seen by the same survey on November 29, 2013, and given the designation of UD 855 1D and lost again, only being observed for 1 hour 35 minutes. That tells me it's speeding up and the orbit is decreasing. November 29, 2013, the day after ISUN wrapped around the sun, guys, and split into multiple nuclei, just as we said it would. This time they gave it the name UW855-1D. It was lost again, only being observed for 1 hour 35 minutes. Guys, it was moving faster, closer orbit. Most recently, it was recovered this month, October 3rd, 2015, given the designation WT1190F. Its orbit was soon calculated and found to be orbiting the Earth, not within the orbit of any known artificial satellite. The object's orbit was soon connected, allowing more observations to be made, and several pre-recovery observations were found of the object dating back to December 2012. During WT1190F's orbit, it changes significantly in brightness from magnitude 16 at perigee to magnitude 23 at apogee, closer it gets to the Sun. This, combined with its frequent orbital disturbances by the Moon, make it difficult to predict its orbit or location. Before it impacts the Earth, it may reach magnitude 16 or brighter. They're saying it will be visible in the daylight in that area of the planet. Now again, listen to the language. They're saying it's a small temporary satellite of the Earth that will impact the Earth on November 13, 2015. It was first discovered on February 18, 2013. An early orbit calculation showed that it was orbiting the Earth in an extremely elliptical orbit, taking it from the geosynchronous satellite ring to nearly twice the distance of the Moon. Guys, the geosynchronous satellite ring is where our direct TV satellites, all that, at 22,400 miles, out to twice the distance of the Moon. We have no satellites that do that. 1190F has been orbiting the Earth as a temporary satellite since 2013. If not longer, while it has not been positively identified with any known artificial satellites, its estimated density is much lower than would be expected of a natural object and is likely a fuel tank of some sort. In other words, it's not as heavy as an asteroid. After more observations of the asteroid, here again, listen to the doublespeak, it was determined that the asteroid will impact the Earth November 13, 2015 at approximately 6:20 UTC time. That's 1:20 Central Daylight Time. South of Sri Lanka. Due to its small size, it will most likely burn up in the atmosphere before impacting, but will be visible as a bright fireball, like a star falling. Pay attention to this. Half the scientists, spacecraft, or part of a spacecraft, the other half asteroids. It's important that we pay attention to this object. Another reason is, remember they said the uncertainty is very uncertain, but they're calling a small dot off the coast of Sri Lanka. They're saying because it's small, it will likely burn up. But what if, now what they're doing is using an orbital pattern and saying it will hit right here in the purple dot off Matera. And again, this is Sri Lanka. Also remember, they're not sure if it's an asteroid or piece of a spacecraft, here, very key. They've given it the COSPAR identifier number and the NORAD ID number, both which mean I don't know when this was launched or what it is. It's called a two-line element. This is not my information. I'm showing it to you. The following is based on all 2015 data received as of the 22nd of October, guys, 4 days ago. The uncertainty is itself uncertain, since leftover rocket bodies have non-gravitational forces that are not entirely predictable, but they're calling it right off the coast. But it should be good to within a dozen kilometers or so. Guys, they don't know if it's an asteroid, piece of a spacecraft, or a spacecraft because of the density. This thing could do anything as it approaches the Earth's atmosphere. The radial velocity, again, in kilometers per second, you'll notice the rather sudden decrease, again in the models, at 1690 UTC on the 13th, 105 Central Daylight Time on this date. RVEL at the top of this. This is the radial velocity. You're dealing with 5.6 kilometers per second. I put in the bottom, that's 12,526 miles an hour. You notice the altitude, kilometers also. Now, as we go through that day, this is moving very fast. Notice this is at 610. Now, we're just going to go a few minutes all the way to the bottom. So from 11 minutes, this thing has entered, if it stays on the projected path again, it enters the Earth atmosphere and is slowed down to 0.091. Again, your altitude, it just zeroes out at the bottom. 621.50, this thing's burning through. Even at 0.091, guys, at 1 kilometer per second is 22,360 miles per hour. So it'll be just under that. That's why you would see it burn out. But guys, they don't know if it's an asteroid, a piece of a spacecraft, or a spacecraft. This is if it continues its projected path. It's changed every time they've seen it. The speed is increased. The orbit has changed. Will it be as a star fell from heaven? We need to pay attention to this. It's a heads up. Be safe.